Hello everybody and welcome back. I am KRX, so we're going to be taking a look at Flotsam. Still in early access, but this is up to date as of 2021, mid-2021, with the Electricity 0.4 update. So the game's actually been out for over a year and a half at this point now, and it's gotten a number of updates along the way. The game has always been a relatively small scope, so even with the updates, I wouldn't say the game has grown to be massive. But let's go in, take a look at it in its current form, and maybe some people here are just looking to see if the game is just worth picking up in a general sense and not really that interested in the specific update that just happened. But either way, we could play the game a little bit, do some commentary, some discussion, some sort of tutorial, getting started guide kind of a thing, and let people come up with their own idea on whether or not Flotsam would be a game that they'd be interested in checking out or revisiting or whatnot. So let's start a new game here. And I've actually played Flotsam quite a bit when it came out. I've played it, I think on the last update I played it, a full playthrough of it. And then I've poked around with it a little bit here just to kind of be able to anticipate some of the changes here. And one of the changes is you actually get to pick, this might have been the last update or this update, but you get to sort of pick, this actually looks a lot like Oxygen Not Included at the start, where you get to your 3 people and you can sort of re-roll them if you want, or RimWorld. It does something similar to this. It's very, compared to those games, the crew managers and the crew traits and the crew aspects are very minimized in Flotsam. It's a much smaller part of the game. A person is a person is a person most of the time, but it is kind of interesting to see that they do have these perks. And these perks, actually, to be fair, 25% additional speed on the task is pretty good. And then presumably you can see how this person has 10 plus 5 crafting, plus 5 crafting, so that would be plus 10 crafting. So they'd actually have 50% more crafting speed. I believe that's just additive. Athletics is an interesting one, but I don't know if you'd want it for your crafting. This is kind of interesting. I'm actually kind of curious to, what is it, random? Oh, wow, we can actually go down and we can, this is like I think there's a mod for Oxygen Not Included that lets you do something like this. But we can actually set someone to be like, hey, let's get someone that actually has some construction capabilities. Oh, wow, this is a constructor and a researcher specialized in those different aspects. It's interesting. This is construction and research, and this is the found object artist. And this is construction and research, and this is the flood wall architect. So they have the same trait allocation, but they have different names. That's actually kind of cool. That there's even multiple flavorful descriptors of characters that even cover the same combination of traits. So there's probably a lot of these. I would imagine there's probably a huge amount of those in total. Different sort of backgrounds or bios for the characters. So if we have a researcher constructor that's pretty, athletics seems kind of nice because athletic or salvaging and athletics together. Ooh, plus 10 fishing. That's kind of interesting. Salvaging speed, boat speed. Oh, boat speed. Actually, that would be pretty nice. Both of those things would be pretty good together, probably. Salvaging with boat speed. But I don't know if the fishing would have really played into it. Maybe it would have been really good. Woody Woodshoes. Woody Woodshoes. Athletics, crafting, athletics, and salvaging. Because if you're swimming, if you're salvaging, I guess this is determines how fast drivers can collect items in the water and on landmarks. Yeah, this includes floating garbage. You know what? Let's not overthink this too much, guys. I apologize. I just don't want to double down on something. Oh, cooking. There we go. This person could be our fisher, salvager, and our cooking expert. Sounds good. Let's say this person over here should be a. We need a constructor, don't we? Oh no, this person does construction. Cooking, research, crafting, desalinate. Yeah, maybe a desalinator. Someone that worked the desalination machine and help us produce water. I know it's like we're getting into the nitty gritty here, but we're not. Construction, doubling down on construction might not be a bad thing. Just having 2 people that can construct things probably wouldn't be that bad. Athletics, desalination, crafting. Yeah, getting so craft. Oh, this looks good. 2 desalinations, crafting, and construction. This looks perfect. Let's go. The Sponger. The Sponger. Can we rename these guys? I wonder if their name is based on their combination of traits. The Ice Sculptor and the Ice Warmer. I guess you kind of do have to warm the ice while you sculpt it, right? That's kind of how they do that. Sort of warm and freeze, warm and freeze, warm and freeze. I don't know how you make an ice sculpture. Let's call this Jankyville. There we go. Let's start our adventure. Okay, here we go, guys. We're in Flotsam. I apologize, everybody, for a little bit there. That was just kind of, I don't know. I like the start of Oxygen Not Included in RimWorld where you're getting your perfect crew together. I like that. Of course, you could just kind of do with random, you know, if you're a hardcore player, and we'd be totally fine no matter what we did there. In fact, back in the day, the little dudes didn't even have traits, and the game is relatively forgiving, I think, usually. But we're in the world of Flotsam, and we can, you know, we can look around here. We can zoom out to see the larger map where we can see beyond the radius here. We have more plastic. We have some fish over here. We have some driftwood over here as well. And we can essentially collect this. This is a game where we're essentially building a colony on this. It's a mobile base. I think, and honestly, the game actually is kind of structured and even looks kind of like Frostpunk. So it's kind of like a little survival management builder. A little less story focused than Frostpunk, a little more just sort of building and construction focused. You're on this boat though, and this boat can actually just move around. So instead of in Frostpunk, that world map where you send explorers out and they do interesting interactions in those different locations looking for specific unique resources, we actually take the base to the resources. So we're going to be moving this base. We can see there's actually like a special island over here or something. So eventually, and we can actually move. We could be like, hey, let's go over there right now. So we can do this if we wanted to. I did not mean to move the boat. We're going to need, I think, ooh. I did not mean to move the boat. And you can see that we've lost, oh, we're actually gaining back energy? How are we gaining back energy? Let's move it over here. Because there's both plastic and wood here. But that is not what I meant to do. So apparently are we regenerating fuel? I don't know. I guess they're cranking it. I think there's a hand crank that our little dudes are operating to get us back fueled up. Yeah, he's no, they're not doing it. This guy's cranking it. So there's a manual crank in order to get that energy back up. They have nothing other to do. Now let's pause the game before we run out of food and everything. But here we have a little bit of wood, and we have a decent amount of plastic. So we need to set up a buoy. And essentially, it's like, you know, we're just basically collecting garbage. This is a post-apocalyptic world. You can see some roads down there below the water. And, you know, the entire, you know, essentially rising tides or rising sea levels, I guess. And we are now in a world that is just filled with water and garbage. So we're going to be collecting this water and garbage and using that to build things and build up the base and stuff and create a sustainable community on this little boat. But we can actually open up the, where is it exactly? It's been changed around a little bit. There it is. We can actually set priorities for these people. So this person has really good build speed and deconstruction speed, which is nice. So we probably want them to be our builder. They can sort of back up build. Yeah, they can back up build. This person, we really want them on desalination once we get that up and going. This person we really want on cooking once we get that up and going. This person looks to be our crafter. So if they're not doing desalination, they can be crafting. If they're not building, they can be researching. This person probably, if they're not cooking, they should probably be salvaging. And then fishing and salvaging, essentially. But other people are going to have to, hauling duties, okay. Yeah, energy duties. Yeah, we might want one person that like works on the energy. If they're not doing anything else, they're just sort of cranking the wheel for us. And then this person might come out here and help with the salvaging. So hopefully we'll get a few people doing that. Let's unpause. Let's unpause now and let's see these guys go. So we set up a buoy. This buoy just basically says, hey, we want you to come out here and swim out here, the little swim icon, and collect all this stuff. So in total, we'll be collecting wood and plastics and these floaters and bringing them back and getting some stuff going there. Our total capacity for goods is 100. We can hold 100 stuff right now, and this is going to about fill us up, to be honest. We actually are able to find a couple floaters, which is interesting because I know that's something that eventually we can spend 2 floaters to actually build another storage yard to increase our storage capacity. One of the things we'll need to do is we'll actually need to build a walkway. Oh, this actually costs floaters. That's interesting. That's a little bit trickier to build then. And I was originally thinking, how many are we going to have total here? A total of 4, I think. I think we've already collected 2, and then we have 1 being collected now, and then the 4th one there. So with this, can we get all the way out? Not quite. We can get to about there. And it'll just be essentially like a road. It's basically just a road. And we can build buildings off of that and stuff. You could build buildings right off the main ship. That's fine too, but... See, the plastic recycler actually is how we actually use... We build this with regular plastics, and we can use this to build what are the floater materials, I guess. So plastics like big giant plastic jugs and tanks and things that will that'll act as this actually I guess all the floaters have been picked up, so I don't know what they look like specifically, but these look like they'd be kind of floaters and stuff. They might be when you see them in the world, they might even be bigger than that. I just didn't notice them. We're also going to need drying racks so that we can dry this wet wood, right? Because we're collecting wet wood, and this wet wood doesn't really do any good for us until it becomes dried. Here, let's build this with our, just to give us a little bit of an area to do. So this is going to be a little bit of a road here coming off of here. Nice and easy. Let's pick up the speed just a little bit. Let's, off of that road, let's get a plastic recycler so we can make more of those floaters. See, we can't even do the drying rack until we get those, so we have to build this, then build this, then we can make some of the floaters with the crafter and the person who's assigned to crafting. Let's actually make sure that the crafter is actually going to be doing that job. Yeah, because we're not doing desalination, they should be crafting whenever there's something to craft. Because I'm assuming they're going to have to work this and manually create the floaters. So there's a little bit of a UI bug here, but that's okay. Yeah, so we want to make... we don't want to use all our plastic, but we definitely want to be able to make a couple drying racks, so let's make a couple right now. It looks like the desalinator is going to require 8, and this removes the salt water from the salt from the seawater to generate fresh water, and that's obviously critically important. We're also going to need to be able to, once we can dry some wood, we can actually make the woodworking shed, which gives us planks. So we're all kind of building up to this desalinator. The chop shop, we need seaweed actually to get the chop shop up and going. And here's the thing, once we get to this point where this is full, this buoy has been fully salvaged, it's time to move. Let's slow the game down a bit here. Again, so that we don't like run out of all of our food. I think spacebar to pause. Oh, they've already done. Wow, that was fast. That was some fast crafting right there. Looks like we are done with that. So let's get some dryers, some wood dryers. Actually, I don't know what happened to the 4th one. I thought we queued up 4 of those. We're at 5,000 out of 5,000. Nice. Let's move the ship. We're kind of looking for seaweed if we can find it. We're kind of on the edge of our vision here. There's something special over here. There's something special over here. Can we make it all the way over here or not? Do we collect the wood along the way? Oh, there was a little bit of wood left there apparently. It was just like a tiny little morsel of it that was just off that was out of the buoy, wasn't it? Yeah. So here, let's collect this wood because we're here. We still have room to collect it as well, so let's get a buoy set up. And we'll come out here and we'll collect that while we work on building the rest of this stuff. These drying racks are going to be important. Oh, nice. We can actually upgrade it to a large drying rack. Can dry 3 items at a time. Is this only 1 item at a time? Holy cow. They've changed this a little bit. It looks like it's going to be kind of painful to dry stuff. I'm just looking at this chopping board. It's like we need rope. Rope requires seaweed. of plastics. Dang. This is going to take a while to get this wood dried. We might need to make even more of these drying racks. Whoops, did I not? I should have set that to 3. There's people being lazy right now. Come on, let's get out of here and get this wood, guys. Let's roll. Let's roll. Most of what we have is a bunch of wet wood. We don't really need wood anymore because it's going to take a long time to dry all this anyways. Hey, we have 1 dry wood. Let's go. 2 dry wood. Okay, let's pick all this up. Nice and easy, guys. You're on the boat? Good. Let's send it off. I think we're trying to get down to here, and I don't know exactly what this is going to be, but it's something. We can see it's something there on the edge. We don't really need this wood. We'll come over here eventually. The polluted wood. Oh, this is polluted wood. What is this? Polluted wood. Wrecked cars on the rocks. Okay, so this looks like a place to get metal. This looks like a place to get wood. Oh, this will probably be... This might be dry wood, but I don't know what it means when it says it's polluted. Oh, it's just a bunch of dry wood. Nice. Okay. So yeah, let's salvage this. We're going to have to salvage that manually. Without it, we don't have a boat, so we're just going to have to swim out there and hope for the best. And then... Oh, there's actually 5 just like fully built floaters out here. I'm trying to see if I can visualize them. I can actually see the 5 floaters. I don't know. I'm seeing more than 5 of everything that I'm seeing out here, so I don't know about that. All right, let's roll. Let's have 1 person working on this island. Let's have 2 people working out here, and hopefully that'll get us a bunch of plastic. Though we do have a little bit of a space issue here. We haven't used any of our food or water yet, which is kind of nice. So the days must be going a little bit slower than I'm kind of thinking here. Of course, if we do get a lot of just regular plastics, we can keep making them into... we can keep making them into floaters. Once we get a bunch of floaters, we can expand the road network. We can make more of the drying docks. In fact, we can actually make a woodworking shed, it's saying. Let's do that on the other side. Although maybe it makes sense to have that next to the dry, and maybe that does make sense to have it just right here. No, what the heck? The truth is, there's really not a lot of like sort of organization optimization in this game. The bases are pretty small. The workers move pretty quick. It's not usually a huge aspect of things. I find. Hello? Can we work on this, guys? I'm going to send that down to a 1. So we have 1 person crafting, we have 1 person cranking, and we have 1 person going out and swimming. But hopefully when this person's done cranking, which they should be done soon, they'll go out and start swimming. And if I'm not mistaken, they should come out to here. There we go. We're full up on energy. Cool. Thanks, dude. Now come out to here. What is that swimming around in the water? Oh, is that our guy? You got out of here fast. Yeah, that actually was faster. How many can you get at a time is the question. How many did you pick up? 5. 5 at a time? Okay. Okay, so there's actually a nice little day-night cycle now. Nice. Energy, yeah, let's just say we consumed a bunch of energy. We gained that much energy as well. Crafted a certain amount of resources. Okay, nice little log there. Everybody's just sleeping on the deck because they don't have homes yet. We could build them homes, but we'd require wooden planks. I don't think we need dry wood for anything specifically. We just need planks. So all the dry wood just needs to be like turned into planks. Once we get some planks, getting some beds will be nice because it'll give them a little bit more restful sleep, I guess, and get them more energy. How many of these do we have? We have 10 of them right now. That's not bad. And there's still a couple to get out here, and there's still 6 regular plastics. Actually, what I'm probably going to do is let's probably do this. Actually, you know what we could do? We could do kind of an interesting design here. And have like kind of a lopsided asymmetrical ship base thing, which could be kind of neat. So let's do that. It's going to use up a bunch of these. So we have 5 available though. Getting more storage capacity might not be a bad thing. We do want to eventually get the researching station. We want to get beds for everybody. But food's kind of important. How do we get food? Well, we know how we get food. We're just not seeing seaweed anywhere. And we can't go fishing until we actually get research. 6 wooden planks, and we could actually get the research station going. Can we collect all this wood, please? Say 2 people can come out here now. Come on, guys, we need this wood. Although honestly, I think we need another drying rack for the wet wood that we have. We have a lot of wood. If we could just make it dry. Okay, so they ate 3 food. Holy cow! Okay, so they're eating some food. Now, eventually, if we just sail around a bit, I think we'll just kind of naturally find food. I'm almost tempted. I think we leave the 1 wood behind because it's just not worth the time. It's not worth the time. We get these guys back on the boat and we set sail. So let's get that wood. Let's get that wood in our area. Let's set sail. We know there's more wood over here. Although we're looking for more than just wood. We're looking for food, and it's probably not going to be another island here. But this is... Oh, what is this? More polluted. Oh, what is this? That looks like a seaweed area. That looks like food. We might have found food. It's a little far away for us to click on or interact with. That looks like a seaweed patch, though, to me. What is this? We got, okay, battery, electrical scrap, metal scrap, and dry wood. Holy cow, this looks good. Now, if we had boats, we could be salvaging this way more easily. You know what? The, getting the crank going, I think is a lower priority than... I think salvaging is a higher priority than getting the crank going. If there's something to salvage, go salvage it. Oh, we accidentally had that guy prioritized on buoy salvaging over landmark salvaging. No. In fact, actually, you know, what we could do is here. That's a 2. We could make this a 2. So he'll prioritize landmark salvaging, but not buoy salvaging over the energy duties. Queue up just a bunch of those. Hopefully we should be getting these filled and dried. Our inventory is quite full at the moment. We might have enough to get a research station. Nice. Okay, we have enough to get the research station. And we can build the rope crafter, but we don't have seaweed yet. We're going to be getting some soon. You know what? Actually, I'm changing my mind here a bit. I think what we need to do is we need to focus on getting just the water going and the food going, and then we'll work on research and getting into the more interesting things. Do we have plastic nearby? That's wood. We need plastic because we're running out. We need 3 plastic there. I think we have exactly enough to do 3 plastics. Yeah, we have 3 in the queue. Although we need 5 more floaters for the chop shop. So we get the rope crafter. We build a rope. We come out here, we get the seaweed hopefully. And maybe we probably come get the yeah, we need that metal scrap and we want that wood. I don't even know if we care that much about this wood out here. Because we're decently full. Hey, there's the whale. Some really interesting, unique items that we got from this area here, though. Including that battery, which is kind of cool. We're a little bit of ways off from needing any kind of electricity, though, I think. Like, oh, this... Oh. Wait, can this be used to make firewood? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Just convert all the firewood that we get. Waiting for resource. Hello? Stop cranking. Stop cranking. Haul before cranking, please. We need wood on this thing. Who is this? Sponger, why are you doing this? Why are you cranking this thing? I need stuff hauled. Yeah, the energy thing is before... No. No. Yeah, no, only Ripple Creek gets to do... Only Ripple Creek gets to do the energy. We need to make sure we have wood drying here, or else we're going to be doomed. We should be able to start making... we should be able to start making water at least, which is nice. In order to make food, it's going to be a little bit more of a jump. We're making just a little bit of firewood. The water is being produced. That's done, so we need to come over here and set this to 2 and salvage out here. Because that's dry wood, now that we need the firewood. So we need to make the rope crafter. We need 1 more plank for that. And then the chopping board is going to be... So we need 5 total planks and then go back to making firewood. That's what we need to do there. We're making water, which is good. Making a couple things of water. Of course, food's a little bit more of the concern at the moment. I wonder if we could just eat raw seaweed, though. So once we collect a chunk of this wood, then I think we're just going to be on the roll, on the move. I'm looking over here and I'm thinking... Metal scraps, what are we... We're full of wet wood. We need to stop collecting wet wood. Like, we are going to be full up here in a second. Yeah, I don't think they can pick up anymore. Yeah, this person's working on the desalination. But now I'm actually thinking, okay, shift over. Start working on the crafting. Yeah, we're almost full up here. Looks like we're getting that last little bit of wood. I don't even know. Are they going to pick it all up even though there's no room for it? We'll see. Yeah, they picked it all up. They don't have room for it. We'll see what happens when they come here. Oh, nice. We just made some room for it. We just made room for it. Perfect. There we go. Booyah. Okay. And I think for the most part, guys, that's basically day 1 and day 2. We definitely got a food issue, but our water's looking okay. We have seaweed here, I think. So we'll be able to get that seaweed. We need to get this plastic and then come over and get this seaweed, and we should be A-okay. So thank you everybody for watching this episode. Of course, there'll be a playlist link down below that'll help you get to episode 2. If you guys have any questions, please fire away. This is a very early bit. We're not fully self-sufficient at this point, but I think we're on the edge of actually getting to the sort of level 1 self-sufficiency. We just need to get the seaweed online, which does require kind of like the fact that it requires the rope maker to get the chop shop is a little bit is kind of intense. Sort of an extra layer there. Well, I don't know. Maybe raw seaweed is actually food on its own. I don't know. But hopefully we'll be able to get food and water up and going and be self-sufficient there. And then we can move on to bigger and better things like the research table and start unlocking even more automation in the future. Thanks everybody for being here. Really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next episode.